I have a problem with cars that don't have a home. I'd probably do it with puppies too, but I know that I'm gonna neglect whatever the hell I get, since, you know, I've had this for a couple months and I haven't touched it at all. If I adopted a bunch of puppies, there would just be puppies everywhere starving, and I can't be that guy. Someday I'm gonna do it with puppies though. I'm gonna sell all the cars and just spend time with puppies on a puppy farm. At least that's my plan. It's my 5-year plan. Maybe I'll give up cars in 5 years. But anyway, this is a 65 first gen Mustang, obviously. It's rough. I remember somebody saying to me a long time ago that you don't want to buy somebody's project car. And this was probably the case. This car needs a lot of work and I'm so busy right now. But we're gonna try to get this to run in a relatively short amount of time. I know I said that about some other project cars, but we're gonna try to get this running and maybe actually daily it. It's probably the worst idea. I really hope that I get a company truck soon with the new old company. We're gonna try to get it running so at least I can have something to drive for a little bit, and then when it breaks down constantly, maybe that'll get the company to give me a new work truck. Because I had a work truck with my old company and that's why I was able to daily the Skyline. But anyway, let's look at this thing. Let's see what's going on. Let's just start at the beginning, which is the front of the car. The hood is misaligned. It looks like it needs to be taken over a lot. The gaps are really uneven and the hood doesn't really want to close. I guess Nick like took the hood off at some point. The hood looks like it's salvageable. There's some bad dents. There's a really bad one right here. Under the hood we have the inline 6 that came in the car from the factory. You can see that this wiring is just a mess. It's exposed. We got the front grille held on with a piece of, I guess it's weed whacker line. Wire nuts holding stuff together. The car does start. The battery seems to be pretty dead right now. It's been sitting for a while, but the battery does not hold a charge, so I do need a battery immediately. The fenders are barely bolted on. I guess he took the front end apart to try to restore some of that stuff. Headlights are held on with a zip tie. I guess the front fender's just kind of hanging. This isn't going to win the concourse of de elegance or anything anytime soon, but this is a pretty interesting car. Nick was asking a bit more than what I paid. I gave him a bit of an offer, not a super low ball offer, but one that I thought was decent. And really, I mean, it is decent. It's a car and it starts. He doesn't have the trunk key. The gas cap was missing. I actually bought one of these already from my friends at cjponyparts.com. We'll try to pull it out, but it's got a flat tire from sitting for a while. I guess this one had a slow leak anyway. It is missing one of the wheels. I still got to get from Nick. This side's kind of the same deal with rust damage and holes. A company called Mayer does make a body kit for these, which I really like. It basically makes it look like a unicorn, but that is expensive. If anybody from Mayer or Meyer or however you pronounce it, if anybody from that company watches this or follows me and like wants to give me a little bit of a discount, that would be so rad because I'm poor. So let's move this piece of crap out and we're going to address some of the immediate issues. Number one being, well, besides the dead battery, number two being it has a really bad noise issue with what is supposed to be the flywheel, but we don't know because we haven't taken this apart yet. I don't know why this is just hanging out. There's wires everywhere. There's a random red wire with an open Stacon touching metal. That's usually not good. Maybe that was creating like a battery drain or something. Who knows? A lot of room in this engine compartment. Let's try to put some air in that tire. Here's the other Mustang project that I'm not working on like it should be. This is kind of like art now. This is all the speed shape silhouettes from when I tested a bunch of colors. That was a pretty interesting video if you want to watch that. That one's somewhere a couple of videos back. But you can't buy Autoflex anymore because dipyourcar.com, it's a bunch of assholes. So I should really get rid of something, one of the cars, maybe this one. If anybody wants a 65 Mustang, shoot me some offers. I didn't buy this as a flip really, but everything's for sale for the right price except for my 2011 and except for my dog. Even my girlfriend's for sale if you want her. Just let me know. Next order of business is going to be to hot shot this thing. I didn't even try to start it because I know it's not going to have a charge. This battery's 2 years old. It's May 2019 right now. So I don't really know why it's dying. I unhooked it to see if there was something just draining it, but it still didn't hold a charge. So we're gonna jump this Mustang with that Mustang. Should really get back to this car. I started taking the floor pans out, and that's gonna be a long process, and this one's not gonna be legal, so that's kind of why we're gonna mess with the 65 for a little bit, just to see if we can get it running smoother and actually daily it. Plus the Skyline needs some love. It's making some weird noises in the rear. Let's start this up. Nobody's bought this motor yet, so maybe I should take this motor and put it in this car. That's a pretty common swap. They make all the mounts, but I don't know, they say you're supposed to change the brakes, and then it becomes an expensive project. Who knows what I'm gonna do. This thing whistles like it's got a Paxton on it. Wish it did. Hey Paxton, hook me up. Let's let that sit for a little bit. I'm gonna go take a pee. I'll come back. It's been like 5 minutes. Let's see if this thing starts up. Hopefully there's no scorpions in the seat or something. I haven't even sat in this thing in about 3 months. Looks like a little rat turd there. Make sure it's in park. This is also an auto, which kind of sucks. I don't like autos. It smells kind of musky in here. Let's give it a little while longer. Maybe we'll have a beer or something. I still got to figure out how to get in the trunk. I don't know if you can take these seats down. Hopefully. I really don't feel like drilling out the trunk. Gotta roll up windows. I do like the dashes on these cars. They're pretty nice. Hopefully there's not a mouse in this one. When I had my 280Z, there was a mouse in the glove box, and I almost broke my neck when I hit the A-pillar. Alright, no mice. Got this Mustang tape deck, which I'm sure came from Pet Boys or something. Or J.C. Whitney. See wires hanging everywhere. Just wires on wires on wires. If this thing ever makes it to the street, I'm definitely buying a fire extinguisher as my first purchase. Because that's bad. It's some of the worst wiring I've ever seen. No offense, Nick. I'm sorry. Brake pedal goes to the floor. So maybe this whole daily idea is not a good idea. Just make sure we get good insurance. Alright, let's try it again. I don't even like being near that thing while it's sounding like that. But it goes away when the car warms up somehow. I don't understand it, but whatever. Alright, you can hear it already. It's getting quieter. Still a little bit of rattling. I'm gonna try to move it before the flywheel flies off and kills me. Probably shouldn't even bought this. I mean, look at the rust issues and the doors. But it's got potential. I mean, look at it. It's a 65 freaking Mustang. And I have one. Do you know how many hero cars are Mustangs? Like, all of them. This is basically a unicorn, but with an inline six and without $500,000 worth of engineering involved and parts and stuff. I'd call it Bluenicorn, but cause I don't even think I'll keep this blue if I keep this car. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're doing yet. Like I said, we got too many other things going on, but I'd at least like to fix the noise issue and then the fender issues. See, the metal's pretty solid in most spots. You can see the floors are pretty solid. Maybe we'll try to keep it just long enough to get it like running and driving. It's a lot of work. But man, what a cool car. Am I right? No? I mean, it's no 600 horsepower bagged splatter arted car. I had one of those for a little bit. But, I mean, it's got potential. Everything has potential, right? Little ass motor. I didn't realize it, but I guess it's got a header on it. I don't think that's the factory exhaust, right? Doesn't that look like a header? Goes and splits off 2 ways. Does this have dual exhaust? Alright, trunk's open. So we need a new lock from cjponyparts.com, which we will be getting shortly. Let's see. Got a socket, made in Taiwan. I'm gonna throw this away because I like American tools on my American car. Trunk's pretty solid overall. It's got this original looking carpet thing. It's got some bearings. I don't know what these are from. A couple tools, some Mountain Dew. You gotta have your Mountain Dew. Can't work on an American car without Mountain Dew, but I am a diabetic, so I don't drink Mountain Dew. Let's get rid of this. Rear seats came out pretty easy. I'm not sure if that's how they all come out. I am gonna put the gas cap on that I bought because I don't want any rodents getting in here and clogging the fuel pump and fuel filters. Maybe I'll vacuum this out later. But I really want to look at that flywheel today. That's my goal. Let's disconnect the battery first. That should have been step one. I don't know what kind of stuff's gonna be draining on this or what kind of stuff's gonna catch on fire. I also like that original 1965 Maryland plate. Wish I had two of these. Let's check that out. That's a nice little bonus. You think that an old plate would be a little bit thicker, but these are still pretty thin. This is my box from CJ Pony Parts. I bought this stuff a couple months ago. I don't remember what's in here. Looks like I got some. I did get the trunk locked cylinder and sleeve. That's cool. And I got a T-handle for the shifter. And the new housing spacer for the trunk lock. And this is the lock cylinder, so I'll have a trunk now. That's cool. I didn't even know that I bought this. Good job, me. And a gas cap. And this is, I guess, a bolt for the trunk latch extension. So I got that too. Got the whole trunk lock assembly. That's awesome. Thank you, past Robbie. For once you didn't screw me, you bastard. But anyway, here's the trunk cap. I don't think it's a locking one. Hopefully nobody steals my fuel. I'm probably not going to be putting premium in this thing. Alright, so looking under the car, looks like one of the bolts is like cleaned off on the tip of it. See this bolt? Looks like it's been hitting something maybe. It's almost like it's hitting, there's not the same gap between these. I don't know. Just pulled out a random wire. Now there's a random cable here. That's the speedometer cable. So the speedometer cable's not in. It's just hanging out. I don't know where that plugs in. There's leaking oil on me, like a goddamn Chinese water torture thing. Chinese oil torture. So what I did was took this breaker bowl over to 3/4 socket, spun the motor around a little bit, and then I discovered there's this crack right here. Right here. I guess that's what could be making the noise. I'm not going to start it up and find out. This would be the main culprit, I imagine. So this is definitely messed up. We'll go ahead and try to take this out, get this out of here. See how much all this cost. Hopefully we can find this on eBay used somewhere, because I don't even know if I'm going to be using this motor and trans for that long. I hate to put a bunch of money into something that's going to be temporary. But since we're under here, we can see other issues. Like when the speedometer cable is just hanging out, and then we have this fuel line that's sitting on the exhaust, so we can find problems like that and make sure the car doesn't catch on fire on the highway. First thing we're gonna do is buy a fire extinguisher and a mount, maybe some brake lines. I don't know, this thing needs a lot of love. Hopefully somebody that has an addiction watches this and realizes they shouldn't buy every car that they see. Alright, let's I guess we'll call it a day, because I do have a video to edit. A wise man once said, life is simple, you make decisions and you don't look back. So yeah, we made this decision and we're not going to look back. We're just going to keep going. Probably be an update soon, maybe, I hope. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. You know, everybody says that. But if you do want to do me a favor, have a great day. Have an awesome day, make it the best that you can, and, you know, take pictures and pet a puppy.